Welcome to Nuggets and Nuances, where we discuss simple truths and the deeper realities behind them. Me today is Professor Olanike Adeyemo and our guest, Oshola Nomamelos. Today we're going to discuss different perspectives of the same world. We're talking about the generations. We're talking about Generation X and Generation Z. We're going to be discussing our different perspectives and our different realities, and where the similarities lie and where the clashes also lie. What's the one thing you admire about the older generation? We'll start with you.
Why would you start with me? Well, if I want to be funny, I will say maybe there's nothing I admire about this generation, but that would be lying. One of the things that I really, really admire about this generation is their ability to live in the moment. They are really truly living. My generation, we postpone living. We do everything and postpone actually living.
Okay, so one thing I admire about the Gen X is their resilience and their consistency. They just want to move forward. There's this drive to just move forward, even when things are hard, even when things are not stable. Because most times I look at my parents and that resilience is there.
Something like 9 to 5 now, Monday to Friday now. When I started it, I was like, how my parents did this thing every day in, day out, we wake up, eat, and they wake up 6, they're out of the house before 8, and then they're back again. And then they keep doing this thing every day,
The kitchen
for years.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So I definitely agree that they're very, very resilient. The generation is very, very resilient.
Thank you for the kind compliments.
Okay, so my second question is enjoying money now irresponsible or realistic?
For me, driving from what I said earlier on, I think our mindset with the resilience that you talk about comes with this heavy responsibility. What makes you not want to enjoy your money is the huge responsibility we carry. And if you look at it now, Gen X, we're still carrying, we're like the sandwich generation. Most of us are taking care of our parents and we're taking care of our kids. So when you have such a responsibility, it takes, you can't really, even your money is not your money, let me put it that way. So people think, oh, you have the money, but you are already thinking about what the money will sell. So that is what, holds us back from enjoying our money in the moment. But having said that, I think it's even biblical that for you to work and eat of your labor, it's a blessing from God. So for me, at this age, it's one of the things I'm learning from the Gen Zs. For every Gen X out there, I think it's something that you have to be intentional about to partake of the labor of your hand in the moment, because tomorrow is not promised.
Life is really unpredictable and we only live once. So the only thing that matters is really enjoying the money responsibly. Like taking time to save, taking time to invest. And then most Gen Zs today, they have like this desire. They just have that desire. They want to feel among. They want to buy things to be very comfortable. They want to live the life they want. They want to be very independent. They don't want to rely on maybe a certain boy or maybe their parents, because as they are growing old, this is kicking. So I feel that we only try to be responsible about our money while we are still
Spending
it here.
So, yeah, I can relate to that. Should respect be automatic or earned?
I think they go both ways, because normally, if you are older than Gen Zs, obviously you would then have respect if they are older. But I feel where respect should come in if it is mutual. Like if you respect
yourself and I respect you.
Yes, because some older generations, most times they look down on the younger ones. Because they expect that, okay, this young one is supposed to respect first.
Well, that's something that is very funny, because culturally we are raised, especially the Yoruba culture, to always respect somebody that's older than you. And so I think that's ingrained in you to want to respect somebody that's older than you. But I think respect should be reciprocal. And one of those people that strongly believe that respect is earned. There are some that you can't do anything about. Let me give you, I'll give you a quick example, because I can also be like a Gen Z in that regard. You can't force respect down my throat. You can't force me to respect you if you don't. In fact, I have this common saying that I ration respect. I have respect in limited quantity. So the fact that I respect you today doesn't mean I cannot withdraw it tomorrow if you don't live up to the respect. So ultimately, respect should be, and there's a reason why you respect people. So culturally, we've raised our case to say if anybody that's older than you, then you respect them. So naturally, if somebody is older than you, extend respect to them. Part of it is, oh, you see somebody that's older than you, when space is scarce, you stand up for them so that they can sing because they're much older. So all those courtesies are things that extend to people. But when it comes to maybe the workplace, we are not from the same compound. You don't know when I was born, because unless at times you get to a certain age, that's when you meet somebody else and you can't really tell their age. So you can't just assume because this person moved you lot, and the person has to respect you. In a workplace, in a place that is not family gathering, especially reciprocal. Yeah.
So that's that about that. My next question is: do older generations take enough responsibility for the systems they created?
I think I should take that so that you don't stress out.
All right.
Yeah, because I think that's directly directed at us. And I think I will just go because this is like a continuous train. So most of the time, our generation complains so much about the Gen Zs, but we raise them. So forget about any other system they're talking about. Maybe because like the scenario we just played that she just described and all those kind of thing. Most of the time, most of our generation were trying to be westernized, and we lost a lot of our our culture. Our culture is not 100% perfect, but it has served us until now.
Yes.
And so what we can do is refine some of the things that we think were not working, not just being there and complaining. And which is what most of our generation did when we were raising our kids. Down to the name. I mean, in Nigeria before, when a child says their name, you can easily tell where they are from. Even down to the village, when they tell you their name. But most of those things now, it's very difficult for you. Even some people will say, and then you think they're not even Nigerian, by the time they tell you their name. So most of those things, we are seeing what we got after Larry. So I think, yes, we should take responsibility instead of like trying to just top down, complain about Gen Z, because we raised them. And so, and like I always say, if you want to see different, you have to do different. But my worry now, because what I always complain now is that how are these people going to raise their own children?
The next, they are going to be accountable now. They are.
Okay, of course, yes. The truth matter is that, like, I'm not saying we are going to be accountable for everything that is wrong with the world, because that's what you try to do. You also should take responsibility for some of those things.
Yes.
Because, like, there's something that is trending now, a guy that was bullying people. At times, it's not actually the way they were raised. It's peer pressure. He's not actually, yes, because his nature is nurture.
Yes.
So we nurture and then they go and then some of them change. So it's not that Gen X is responsible. No, I'm not saying that that we're responsible for everything that is wrong, but some of the things that we complain about, we actually contributed to it. So in every other thing, it's like garbage in, garbage out. And everything that when you have an input, there'll be an output, and then so we should actually take responsibility. The same way most of the things that you are doing now, there will be consequences. I hope you are aware.
Yes.
I hope Gen Z. Yes. Actually, it's quite an opposite reaction.
Yes. So they will obviously be consequences. And then that time too,
they say that they will take responsibility.
Yes, I will take responsibility. What's one thing now you better understand about the older generation now? Not something you admire, just something you've come to terms with.
I think what you should ask is that one of the things that we don't like, and I will say it now, is everybody seems to have mental health problems in your generation, and this is not playing around mental health. I know mental health is health.
Yes.
And I know we didn't take care of it as much as we could have. But because of our resilience, at times, most of the things that, worry this generation, we think, for my generation, some people will fail 10 times and they will still be bouncing all over the place. But in this generation, somebody will fail like once or twice and then they will go and analyze themselves. So those kind of things like worry my generation, because we see people go through even more tougher difficulties and they came out of it. But for this generation, what I see is that you guys, you have a voice and you use your voice. I really admire that about the generation. Our generation we are like, oh, just do as I say, and then we just do it. But I like the fact that you guys, you have a voice
I'm
and you
really
use your,
vocal.
yes, yes, you are very vocal, you are very, you advocate for yourself, speak up for yourself. And I think that is one of the things that we didn't do as much.
The next thoughts first, they strive to also, because we said it earlier, how that their health, they just want to work, and now that they are resilient, and that is what has really taught me particularly, because we are striving to also, we are striving to be very independent and to have the money to spend on our desires. So Janet just naturally taught us to strive to also
So,
try to find.
are you all doing right?
I tried our
We
best.
don't rely on one income actually. No one
We're trying our best. We're trying our
like,
personal best to catch up. So sometimes the problem isn't disagreement, it's the lack of understanding, and majority of the time we just need to come together and just have a discussion and just see where everybody stands and how everybody feels about our different experiences and our different realities. That brings us to the end of this session of Nuggets and Nuances with Professor Olanike Adeyemo and Oshola.
Thank you very much for
thank you.